So we wanted to do this episode because we wanted to just talk more concerning signs that your marriage is drifting apart.
Yes.
Sometimes there's signs, and then sometimes there's signs that we don't want to see, but they're there. So we want to talk about those signs and be able to diffuse any of those lingering issues or situations before it really drifts apart.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the five small signs.
Yes.
Small signs that you may not be seeing. Five small signs that your marriage is drifting apart. Okay, so this episode is going to be just bringing awareness. Most couples don't notice that they're drifting apart until they're very far apart, right? And the damage has already gotten very deep and almost sometimes too deep. And we didn't see it early either.
We didn't see it.
We saw some of it.
I don't think we really, handled it like we should have.
Yeah. I think we
They were
definitely
there.
yeah, well, the signs are there. We're going to definitely talk about those signs, but I also think that maybe we were a little naive to some things, or maybe we didn't take those things seriously.
Yeah.
But most marriages, they don't fall apart overnight. People try to stick into them and be there, but it doesn't just happen overnight. The small disconnections, they build over time.
Yeah, it
Right.
definitely happens slowly. So what are some disconnections? I think some disconnections can be just in regards to expectations that we have in the marriage. Talking about those expectations. That can definitely be a huge disconnect. And then silence. Silence can be very big. Like you don't want to.
You're good at the silence.
Yeah. You don't want to say too much, or you just probably tired of saying it, and then you just become silent. I done said it so many times, so now I'm done. I'm gonna become quiet.
Yeah, then that silence and emotional distance, it starts to grow gradually and gets bigger and bigger. Definitely. Couples often, they normalize the unhealthy patterns. And says, oh, this is just kind of how it's supposed to be, and honeymoon's over, but that's not really how it should be, right? And from the outside, we look fine. People look at us and they were, oh, you have such a beautiful family, and we started having kids, and going to church, having good jobs, running a business. Like, we looked very successful, right? And we would still be functioning, day to day. We would still be showing up for events, family events, going to sporting, whatever it was. We were always showing up together. So we looked good, right? But emotionally, we were definitely drifting.
Yeah, we were definitely drifting.
And so sign number one, let's talk about what's sign number one.
You stop talking. Your conversations become shorter and shorter. Like you don't really want to have a conversation with your spouse, and you're just like, I'm gonna do me, and he gonna do him, right? But obviously, that's issues. So the conversations become surface level. Hey, how you doing? Or how was your day? And then you just keep it at the surface level. Oh, it was great, and then you just keep it moving. Right?
Yeah, logistically, the responsibility, just the day-to-day, like Don was saying, surface level. It's just, hey, okay, who's taking the kids?
Yes.
What's your schedule like today? And it's, again, just very surface level. That's sign number one, right? That you stop really, talking, right? You really stop connecting, especially the emotional curiosity and that connection. It just really halts at that point, right? So that's sign number one. And that in that sign, you're communicating, but you're not really connecting, right? Like, think about when you're dating. It's like, oh my goodness, we're on the phone for 8 hours, right? And definitely the physical touch, Like, oh no, you fall asleep, or like you fall asleep, right? Has you ever been like, remember when you be like on the phone and like you didn't want to hang up, and we slept? It's like all that connecting that you're doing, that starts to slip, that starts to go away. Right? And it's definitely not an emotional connection anymore. Right? And that real communication actually starts to require openness. And maybe that couple or the spouse, whoever, is not really ready for that, right? And distance starts to grow, right? It grows when the depth disappears. You're able to have that depth before, but now you're starting to drift.
Right.
And it's definitely starting to disappear.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's sign number 2?
Small irritations become bigger. My
See,
goodness.
it's small and can be an irritation.
I mean, I can get irritated easily, I won't lie, on certain things, especially when it comes down to like household chores. That can be a total irritation for me. And he knows acts of service is my love language. So if he's not doing certain things that I ask of him, or he's moving super slow, I tend to become irritated.
Yeah, I mean, and you start getting defensive.
Very
Right, the
defensive.
defensiveness starts to increase, and to where it's like, why is there ever vacuuming? And it's getting so, a heated argument. It's like, we're arguing about vacuuming, we're arguing about the toilet paper, who didn't put, the roll of toilet paper
But
in.
you're really not arguing about the toilet paper or vacuuming. You're arguing about how long or how many times that I have to ask you.
Right, because that resentment is starting to build up.
Yes.
Right, and it begins to, it's building up, and so it's starting to leak out.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not really having a conversation or an argument about vacuuming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or putting the dishes away, right? It's something bigger than that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And so if you don't handle that, that gets swept under the rug until something else happens.
Yeah.
It just begins to grow and grow.
Yeah, because you're not communicating anymore. You're definitely not connecting. And talking is not the same as emotional connection.
So sign number 2, small irritations become bigger. Now, we know irritations can just be little things. Like, oh, it's a piece of lint on the floor and you just get irritated because of that.
Piece of lint.
But a piece of lint. But it stems from something that maybe your spouse has done a few weeks ago and you didn't take care of it, right? So that lint probably triggered, oh, he didn't help me with some chore that I asked of him, right? So those small irritations begin to mount up and it just becomes bigger.
Turns into resentment.
It does. And then you start to have no patience with each other. You just become short, right? So if he asks, like, why are you upset? Because you know why I'm upset, right? So you
I
start to
don't know
get...
why. I can't read it, Ron.
And he may not. But 9 times out of 10, they do. They know. But again...
Ladies, right there, side note, we are not mind readers.
No.
We're never going to become mind readers.
No.
So stop trying to think we're mind readers.
Yeah. But again, those are things that take place that creates the disconnection, the irritation, the resentment, the shortness, right? So if you are not taking care of those things when it should be taken care of, then the next time something happens, it's just going to be even bigger.
Yeah, because you're not really fighting about what that argument is, right? The argument is much deeper than it appears. It's the unspoken hurt really starts really accumulating over time, and those small issues really just turn into an emotional trigger.
Yeah, and you can be fighting about those small things, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, you didn't pick the kids up. I always have to go and pick the kids up. And when they're using words like always and never, those are typical, things that are being triggered by things that, were happened before, emotional things that have been building up, right? And